Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex. Today we're going to be taking a look at Dragon Quest treasures and my opinion on this new action RPG, a spin-off of the classic series, but is it worthy of the name? Well, that's what I'm here to discuss, so hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and let's get started. If you are grabbing this one from the eShop, then consider using cornershop.gg for discounted eShop credit. You'll get 10% off at checkout using code CORNER, and it's instant delivery via email. Before we do get into this as well, I do want to add I won't be attaching a score today as I'm yet to beat the game. That said though, I've put in a good 10 hours, so I have a great grasp of the mechanics, so I definitely want to talk to the pros and cons. Story then, and we're joining Erik and Mia pre the events of Dragon Quest XI. At this stage in our lives, we are young orphans who were picked up by Vikings and we're working aboard their longboat. They hunt treasure. We want to partake and prove our worth in this game. So much so, in fact, we sneak away near nightly, it seems, and hunt on the surrounding islands while they basically get themselves good and drunk. It's not slow, honestly, getting the narrative going. Within moments we are on top deck, we see a flying cat and pig locked away. We free them and now we follow them because we have a feeling they know about some treasure. The next thing you know, we've explored a dungeon, found 2 magical swords, discovered they can talk, and then been whisked away to an unknown location where the world, it forms the shape of a dragon. Our goal here, help these to find 7 dragon stones and build up some serious wealth along the way. I like that pacing initially, but I will say once you get past the opening it slows down quite a bit. It took me a good 4 to 5 hours to get the first stone, and it could have been a little bit faster about it. There was really no narrative beats in this moment. Thankfully though, the game does pack a likeable cast from friends to foes such as competing pirates. Gameplay then, under the opening, it's quick to establish the formula. We need to hunt for treasure, hence the name of the game, while along the way recruiting monsters to assist in this journey. Unlike Pokemon, however, we do not capture them. Instead, we must defeat them in battle, and then should they be impressed with our ability, then they can apply to join your team via a job board. That is really something I did not expect. One question I also got when previewing this game was, is it open world? And it's not one big open world, and no, once you're out of the opening location though, you do have access to a train which can take you to each of the locations. They're not huge, but a decent size, and all in currently there's 6 locations, including one that acts as your hub home base. These islands, the monsters do vary, so does the treasure, and then thematically, it's environmental, the changes, so think ice, lava, and so on. I really do like the monster element of this game though. You can take a party of 3 along with you who can be switched freely in and out, and then you control Erik or Mia. You can only have 1 in a party with monsters, or at least that is the case this far into the game. Thankfully though, you won't be leveling them individually, forcing your hand in choice. Rather, Erik and Mia, they share a level which moves relatively quickly. Currently I'm level 25, which impacts all stats from MP to strength, and it's definitely a long list of stats in here, but there is no customization. It assigns level points automatically, and the same thing it goes for the monsters. The combat then simple. Your party reacts automatically outside of you can command them to pull back and be at your position or go all out attack. For Erik and Mia, we get a single attack which chains, we can do a dodge roll, and then we can use a slingshot for ranged attacks with multiple different bullet types to uncover. I didn't use this all that much at the opening, but as I got into the game, this thing it became more and more necessary. Building on that then as well are these monsters, not just for combat but also a key element of treasure hunting and traversal. For the treasure hunting, they sniff out treasure and your sword allows you to pull up a compass of sorts, directing you to what they found. Get close enough and you'll get a vision, a still image, and now you need to figure out said location. Additionally, for movement, they get small bursts where they can help you jump higher, glide or sprint quickly as a few examples. I loved personally the flying, I also loved one that pulled you underground. So all is good this far. Unique locations, a great selection of monsters to uncover, and a unique treasure system but what for me proved to be just a little too much was the grind involved with progressing. It's not a bad thing on the game, it's just something that I find I can only play in short bursts, not extended sessions, and that's really a preference over anything else. The quests though, all of them so far, head to an island and repeat that loop of treasure hunting or fetch some items. As you go as well, it seems to become more and more challenging. You see your home base, you're building it up. I have a shop so far, I fixed up our flag and I built a storage room for the goodies. Now I need to fill it and rank my team. Ranking my team, it allows more treasure, more threat from pirates who invade, and then I can send off even groups of monsters without me to try and find some goodies too, though not too much luck in that department this far. Currently, my fort, it's valued at 75 million, and for every dragonstone you find, it bumps up the requirements even further. My next milestone is now 100 million for rock number 4 of 7, because I cannot progress the game until I've reached this level. Recruiting monsters even, that requires items too that I need to go and hunt this world for. It's this constant cycle of just gathering resources. Even then, should I have all of the pieces in place, I need to now visit a dungeon that's been found for some wave-based combat encounters that come with a level recommendation. Win each room, get a clue to the next location of that next dragonstone. So you've done all of that, you've reached your next milestone, you've got what you need, so now it's time to head to the waypoint and again repeat the treasure mechanic of using your monster and compass. Congratulations, you got the stone. Now it's time to start it all over again, because again the game is going to bump up the amount of gold or treasure that you do need. And that grind, honestly, it's getting to me. It's not been a particularly difficult game, and clearly from the simplicity of it all, it's aiming for a younger audience. In fact, I think this is a fantastic RPG for anyone younger in the household that maybe you do want to try and get into this genre. I'm just not sure it's going to keep people locked in though for hours on end. What has been adding to the frustration though, you get rich enough and now competing pirates, they want that loot, so they begin to invade your runs and attack. It's just more of an annoyance than anything else, it's slowing things down even further. I also wish I had some new moves, but that's not the case. Instead, it seems we rely on the actions of our monsters to keep that gameplay fresh. It's kind of got this sense of Erik and Mia, of very, one tone, one dimension in regards to what they actually do. The only other element, online play, I wasn't able to test this out, but it's a really unique idea. Basically, you can hide loot for other players online, and they now need to jump to a location and find it. Definitely a fun spin on the formula. The best way to describe this game though for me, it's a grind. If you're not finding a treasure, you're finding a loot. If you're not finding a loot, you're battling in wave-based combat to get a clue. Not a bad game by any means. In fact, I'm having fun with it. I'm just going to be taking my time in smaller bursts, and I think that's going to be the best way to take on this adventure. I'm excited to see what some of the monsters do in the future of the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this story goes. This far I kind of understand the mission, but I'm still uncovering really the why behind it. Plus there's a few elements that I'm avoiding here down to spoilers. My only word of warning, you've really got to enjoy a grind style loop gameplay. Graphics and visually, I don't think it's bad, but as I said, these are large locations. Once you hit one, there's no load screens. That is impressive, and yes, because of that, there is noticeable pop-in, but enough draw distance that it will never cause you an issue with, let's say, an overpowered enemy appearing out of nowhere. Additionally, I do like the different themes of each island as well, and the fact it changes the loot that you do find constantly. There's also some really fun references to past games, with everything from clothing items for treasure to statues of characters. The frame rate then, it's not bad, but you will definitely feel some fluctuations, but given the simplistic gameplay loop and combat, it really has little impact on your ability, nor has it dropped for me outside of brief moments. Also, the resolution, not always the best honestly, and you will notice some very basic texture design when you do get up close. When you're looking over the entire world though, there were moments that definitely impressed. Audio finally, and this is mostly good. The music really good so far throughout. I really like the sound effects as well for the monsters. Then there's something of a background design as well at each location. What I don't like are characters talk, and they do say the same thing over and over. Slimes are cute initially, for example, but there's only so many times they can scream at you before it begins to wear thin. There's also a bit of an audio quirk that feels out of place. If you dig up treasure, it plays a theme song and it mutes every other sound effect, which is just a little bit weird, especially, let's say, when you're in a battle. So my verdict this far, and this one, grind heavy. I think it's going to potentially get a hard time because of that as well, and it doesn't really fit in with my typical gaming preferences. Do want to be transparent about that. It has, however, done enough now to intrigue me, so I'm going to be going back into it, but in short bursts, so the repetition doesn't become too much. The story as well, after a fast opening, it's extremely slow, but I still do have a level of curiosity around where it's going. If that looper, collectathon and challenges though sounds like your thing, then this one could be for you. And it seems to pack a ton of content as well, because I'm 10 hours in, I've got 3 of 7 stones, and I've barely touched any of the side quests. So will you be checking out Dragon Quest Treasures? Let me know in the comments. With that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.